Hi. Yeah, today's stream, me and Mo watching, may or may not be watching Nancy Grace. So we're going to need, that thing might be much less in the end of this stream. But first, say hey to Mo.
Hey guys, gonna need to get all the bourbon tips from you guys.
Yeah.
You know, in case I want to class it up from box wine.
Yeah, there's may or may not be only up from boxed wine. And we immediately have a guest. Well, you know him from roughly 3 minutes ago. It's Jeff. Hi.
Addy.
Hello.
Hey, and we also have Hugo and Gertrude is here also. My chili plants. Hugo, named by my members, and Gertrude, named by Solomon Anderson. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
My member's name is Doug, not Hugo. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You get to name what you have.
And Mo is dual streaming, so you can also give her a shout out.
Streams.
Yeah.
If the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man shows up, I'm gonna be excited and pissed.
So
I don't know. My Walmart started selling non-alcoholic booze. I think it's the sign of the end times.
What?
I'm a little upset.
That's grape juice, isn't it?
I don't know. I was like, this is unholy, and they wouldn't let me spray holy water on it.
I've seen non-alcoholic gin on my local liquor store, and I'm not trying it.
No one should.
That's just water with spices.
I've had some fake whiskey before. None of it's good.
I'm gonna have to ask.
It's like water with caramel flavoring.
Good starter whiskeys, in case I want to go up from boxed wine. Could happen.
Where are you living generally?
Indiana. Unfortunately.
Oh, no, you've got MGP. You've got MGP there. They're the largest whiskey producer in the entire United States. But that's where they send all the whiskey to other places to be blended. But you can get pretty much anything there, so you're good. Basil Hayden is a great starting place.
I will try it.
Yeah, here's Mads with his bourbon tips. You pour it in the glass, you put the glass to the mouth, you pour the drink in, let it sit in the mouth for a few seconds, you swallow, that's all. I hope that is bourbon tips.
I'm not getting that clip.
Yeah.
Nice try, y'all. I have a dirty mind and I use it.
I'm hoping that Mads is not talking from experience and it is actually bourbon. Just saying.
Yeah.
This is not confessional.
Well, Tweety US News says, now we see Jeff's preference. Basil Hayden isn't my preference, but it is a very, very good entry level. Anybody who wants to get into bourbon, I always recommend Basil Hayden. It's very, very smooth, very, very mild. There's not a huge alcohol burn to it, 40%. It's an amazing bourbon for the price point.
I can do that.
I'm more of a whiskey person than a bourbon, but bullet bourbon is good.
It's good.
Yeah. And I've tried to like, what's that rock and roll bourbon stuff? Fuck it.
No
5 minutes in.
And it wasn't me.
Can we cuss yet?
No, Jack Daniels. Because Lemmy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that was Lemmy's drink of choice.
Yeah.
But after he died, I just referred to the rum and coke as the Jack and Coke as the Lemmy, not a Jack and Coke.
Yeah, that's has been a Lemmy for a very long time. His drummer was Swedish. You know, the last drummer of Motorhead was Swedish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Chandler.
D. Yeah. Hey, Chandler.
Hey.
Wasn't Chandler supposed to be streamed today as well?
Chandler, welcome to the dang night.
Valhalla is here also.
No, it's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here, and I I freeze frame Nancy Grace really, really well, I think.
Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, it's the eyebrows. It's
What a
the
horrible.
eyebrows.
It's the everything.
It's
Well, yeah.
everything was not put in the correct place after the latest surgery kind of phase.
She makes the Long Island
Oh.
medium just look downright sexy.
I'm not drunk enough yet.
Yeah, she does make you question the existence of a benevolent God, but she is on cable, so
Yeah, well, she is a piece of cable, but
we're not quite sure. She has cables just holding up. You can't get these eyebrows without the Nancy Grace look.
I bet you
It
that
is the eyebrows.
I bet you they claim that what's that sea witch from Little
Ursula.
Mermaid? Yeah, was made from an Australian drag queen.
Divine.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and the new one. Yeah.
Well, and the old one too.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
But are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm seeing Ursula here.
Listen,
No, that's
ladies,
the
the 30s eyebrows, the 1930s, the really plucked, thin, and drawn on, are just scary. Stop. Just
yeah. Those are my mom's eyebrows.
Yeah.
And
my
they're
cat
never
is trying to
twins.
get into my office because my cat is really pissed off. I went out to the car to get stuff, and apparently he was sneaking up on something, and I scared it away. So now he's out to kill me, and yeah, so he's outside
So
of the
you
office
definitely want to let him in.
No, I'm a bit scared actually.
Send
because even when he's happy, he is trying to kill me.
We have noticed.
Yeah, he's actively. Him scratching my legs is not just scratch pole. He's tenderizing my legs for eating. That's
Nicholas has tender legs.
As long as you know they're going to eat you when you die, I mean, at least you've accepted it.
Well, I'm dead. I won't care. So that's okay. It's that he's trying now, and I'm not dead yet.
That you
I'm
know
not
of.
dead yet.
Famous last line from every horror movie.
That's how they're gonna find me. They're like the neighbors are complaining of the smell, and at least the dogs will have had something to eat until they find my body.
I tell Mr. Mo, he's like, "What are you gonna do if I pass away?" I was like, "Well, when's recycling day? Do you think you're biodegradable?" It's like, find someone else to take out the trash. I don't know.
They will probably put me in a jar somewhere just to study how the freak did he survive this long.
I told my kids I want to be taxidermied and just placed in their living room.
Horror movie. Say that. Horror movie. Not
the things that just went through my brain that I'm so glad I just turned off, because again, like we were saying before you started, I'm trying to remember you've been going 9 minutes. I've been going 8 hours.
Yeah.
But to be very fair, Nicholas and I should never be on the same stream because we both are 12-year-old children.
Yeah. It's dangerous. And we don't have David to chaperone us
no
today
adult.
because but he tries to chaperone us so we don't get too far out of line.
He mainly just watches us in bemusement.
So what are on the these joint drunk streams that you two degenerates do? What's the parameters that I'm required to operate under as far as good taste versus bad taste stuff?
We only had one stream together. No, we had a few streams.
We had the I don't think there's anything really.
No, you were.
My humor is pretty dark, like dark.
Yeah.
So
Mm. And
But
once you have
because
seen, yeah,
there's a thing that's going on around in the internet that is just there's bad taste, there's unacceptable things, and then there's this stuff, and
Oh.
it's I don't know if this is the place for it. I don't even know if this wouldn't even be acceptable in Hayden's kinky corner stuff.
Oh, okay. That might be a bit much.
that
I was
might
just
be a
I'm
after
just
2
going to put this
hours thing.
in the private chat here, and you can
Mo is
look at
trying.
it.
Mo is trying to get monetized, so maybe not yet.
I put it in the private chat, and you can do what you want with it. This is so wrong.
I shouldn't be laughing. I'm going straight to purgatory.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'm going to hell. That's funny, but I'm not. I'm not.
Nicholas,
Okay.
no.
No.
Purgatory.
It's yours to do with as you please. And
Remember
Flux,
when you
I'm
had a
gonna
stream, Nicholas?
Flux, check your DMs because I'm in the process of sending it to you just because
Oh,
you said no.
God.
Oh, Flux.
Oh.
I don't know whether to be slightly horrified or
You
upset
should
that
be
I didn't
very
think of it
horrified.
first.
Both.
Yeah. But then again, we are not Justin Bieber, who said inside Anne Frank's house that I bet she would have been a Bieber or a believer.
Yeah.
Now that deserved a spat in the face, if anything.
Yeah. Well, it's like all the people doing the selfies in front of like Auschwitz and things. It's like,
Yeah.
Wait, you mean you're not supposed to do that with a peace sign?
yeah.
It's Colorado ski. I've never been to a Colorado ski resort, but I've been to a lot of Swedish. But then again,
Some of them are good.
we are quarter of our country is above the polar circle, so it kind of gets ski weather here a lot.
I think Flux finally got it.
Yeah.
Oh, full name.
Good thing she spelled it wrong. It's an RU.
I was
I'm an
about to say-
RUI.
That and she doesn't know
Oh.
your middle name.
Yeah. That's no, that's some disturbing things that I sent Nicholas. Just for him to do what he
Oh.
wants with it.
We're already.
Did you? Are you sure
invoking
you sent
Nancy
it to me?
Grace.
Because I haven't seen anything in my DMs.
It's in the private
It's in the
chat.
private chat.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
First-
I saw that one. Yeah, it's funny, and but I was already going to hell. So, but
Yeah.
I really like.
That's why I
monetized.
just put it there. So you know you can
you
decide
know-
like which level of hell you want to go to.
Oh, then
What's the
I've
one
seen
with all the
worse.
cool people? Because
Yeah. That was a deal I made with my mom. Whoever gets there first has to save the other one a seat by the fire. And bring the marshmallows.
I want to be at the entrance, waving at everybody who believed they were going upstairs, like priests, French people. Yeah.
I have made way too much fun of my first husband. So we can't meet again. So I'm just hoping for purgatory.
Oh.
Hey, they don't look until you're on husband 3. I'm pretty sure. I have it on good authority.
Well, the state will never, ever, ever be involved in any relationship of mine ever again.
Oh my God, yes. Like hi,
Walmart, that
welcome.
would be a good
Hi.
purgatory.
Yep.
Walmart is purgatory. I was just there.
Oh, see, and I'm a poor planner, and I just it's one of these things isn't going to work out. Going to Costco on a Friday evening.
You are a masochist.
No, the rage, the blood pressure, the anger. I was, they have the what is it? The smash, marry, kill. I was just playing kill, 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 going through the store.
My issue is the peanut butter aisle. Someone is always standing there looking at the peanut butter. It has been crunchy or creamy for what, 50 effing years? Make your choice and get out of there. And if you pick goober, you are a demon. It's just
Well,
wrong.
Well, in Korea only has in Korean Costco they only have the super chunky, which is like the worst. I'm a creamy guy all the way.
Now, in Purgatory, I will be the one that says to the people in clergy who likes to do wrong stuff to stand in line in front of that small guillotine. That's the one I want to be. Over.
I think I'll just go to IKEA on Sunday so I can have some Nicholas meatballs. And I have to get my lingonberry syrup too.
I cannot go to IKEA. I get well, ADHD
Well, it's
to the max.
It's the damn maze you have to run through, and like you're on the fifth floor. It's a three or four floors here. You're like on the middle of the third floor, and then you really have to go to the bathroom, and then you're trying to find your way through the maze. There's
And
be
you
like
can't realize why you bought 10 like plastic containers, 84 candles, and a bunch of those jam cookies.
Because they're $1.25 each. That's why.
They're trying to kill us by cookie. That's what you. I see your plan.
The IKEA. See, I don't care about the furniture. I just care about the little shopping place at the bottom because I have this weakness for ginger snaps. Like ginger cookies are the death of me, and I just think, can I buy a whole case of them?
See, that's why I sent you super chats yesterday. I knew I would use them for evil. It would go straight right to carbs. Trying to stay right with the Lord and keto.
Yeah, you follow those arrows and they don't lead you anywhere other than like a circle.
Yeah, they're confusing as hell. And then you have everyone else who's confused as hell, and we're all just a herd of confused cattle.
Yeah, I just end up like in a storage closet somewhere.
It's weird because I have no issues finding stuff in an IKEA. But maybe it's genetic. I don't know.
Y'all stopped being Vikings and decided to conquer us with weird furniture we can't figure out or put together or name. See your plan. That is the bikini team.
There's a German band that does funny metal, and they have done an IKEA skit that is amazingly funny. Of course, I can't play because of copyright reasons, because I'm not in that area of stream stuff. But it is funny, believe me. That
was my friend.
Rammstein is not a fun metal. I can describe Rammstein as many things, but not goofy metal.
One of my very, very good friends lives in Skien, Norway. Not freaking. And he was like, "Oh, it's so beautiful here." I'm like, "How beautiful is it?" He said, "It's like where I'm camping this weekend." He said, "It's so beautiful that death metal bands would photograph album covers here."
Where they're facing away from the camera.
And
looking serious.
Yeah, but a large portion of the Norwegian Forest Service is locating these black metal bands in the forest because they got lost. So, and that was it. There's band makeup on guys in Florida or Texas, and who is performing. Well, does that include black metal guys?
Black people don't do metal.
No.
I was about to say, are you asking like black metal, the style, or the melanin?
No.
I'm confused.
No, not the melanin. Band names that are in shape of bush. Yeah, not in shape of a bush. Yeah. This is going great.
You don't say.
Tony's, hey, it was a slow pitch and I didn't take it. So you're welcome.
Yeah. Well, I was in a fusion jazz band that had a particularly offensive name, so it didn't faze me.
But way back in the early 90s, I may or may not have been a member of a death black metal band, but there are no pictures
I know people in my stream have heard the story. I was a good little Mormon boy growing up in the mountains of northern Utah, and we had a concert in the park series they would do every year in Merlin Olsen Park, because Merlin Olsen grew up in my hometown. You probably don't know who Merlin Olsen is, Nick, but anyway. Yeah, and we wanted to be on there, so we thought we just want to come up with a name that will offend everybody in Utah. It was like a fusion jazz band. It was like really like weak, but we just wanted to have fun. So the more alcohol that was consumed, the better the band names became, and we didn't get to perform. We didn't even get on the I almost said menu, the program. We didn't get on the program because apparently they found our fusion jazz name, Satan's Little Fuck Buddies, to be too offensive.
I can't imagine why.
It's the greatest name for a fusion jazz band ever.
But
when I don't disagree.
When I talk about black metal, I'm talking about this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Flux, that's awesome.
Oh. The Midal Poppers. Well, one of my best friends, and I just mentioned this on the stream, oddly enough. My best friend in law school, one of my best friends, she had an Italian greyhound, like a hairless Italian greyhound. She named it Rogaine, which I thought was kind of cute.
Oh, there. Da.
Whim, I like that. There you go.
Guys in makeup dancing.
Death metal bands in the wild.
It's less pretentious than most bands, so hey.
But see, I can see the guy in the middle just walking in the room going, "Oh, hi, Mark."
Creepily touching your hair just a little bit too close. Like, I don't think we know each other, but okay.
I would love to put that meme up, but that guy he will sue the living freak out of me if I even put up a second of.
Honey. Yeah.
I'm confused. Black metal is all about anarchy. Why wouldn't he would be happy that you're memeing him and copywriting him?
Well, he's a sensitive actor.
Yeah.
Everything's a lie.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, there. Oh, damn. Why do I always share screen? There. Aren't you terrified?
Well, I'm just proud of them with their foundation, or with their paleness and my paleness. It's hard to find a foundation, so congratulations, men. You did good. Sure,
have you seen the movie Dead Snow?
No, I haven't.
It's a Norwegian zombie film that's great. This scene reminds me of it.
No, I haven't seen Dead Snow, but I've seen 40 Days of Night. 40 Days. No, what's it called?
That's because
vampire movie.
Letitia made her vampires from that. They were all in Alaska, going door to door. Vampires for Christ.
Yeah, the Alaskan vampires. There they are. They're the ones that Letitia Stalk was talking about.
You know, I can almost see it. Those would be her vampires.
No, this literally looks like a scene from Dead Snow. It's kind of like Friday the 13th in Norway. A bunch of teenagers go to some snowed-in cabin to have sex for the weekend, and they find like a buried Nazi helmet, and then they like dig past the helmet, and then there's like a frozen corpse, and he has a coin in his mouth. They take the coin out of the mouth, and then all of the Nazi zombies come alive and start killing everybody.
What are we going to do when we run out of things to blame those people on?
Oh, there's plenty to blame them for.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
Well, if we run out, then we just really have to turn our focus on the real evil one, Stalin.
Mm.
It's weird that we can't say either of the N words, but we can just talk about Stalin all day and Mao.
Well, he did name himself Man of Steel. You gotta admire his branding for a short guy with pockmarks.
I know which, but that's music and copyright strikes and stuff like that. So so sadly, only copyright-free music will reach this channel. But if you Google "drunk black metal guy concert," you can find it. It's he's so it's so. Oh, what a moron! And about Varivikenes,
Can we stop watching this?
Okay.
It's gonna be nightmare fuel.
It's mesmerizing.
It is the car wreck that you don't want to unsee.
Yeah.
Kind of like the NFL trial. Oh my God.
We can go back to watching her instead.
Well, speaking of nightmares.
Yeah, this was a thing back in the late 80s when
Mads actually looked like my friend in Sheen.
Yeah, maybe. The Norwegian black metal scene was quite burnerous and murderous in the late 80s, early 90s.
I think I told you this story. I'm just because people writing in my car and they say, "What music do you want to listen to?" and they say, "Put it on random." That's a really, really dangerous thing to do with my music because it's just all over the map. And we're on vacation with my son, and I just had the music on random. We're driving down the stream and down the street, and it went from like Nora Jones to just. My son goes, "Oh, that's Ammon Amarth." I'm like, "How could you possibly know that was Ammon Amarth?" It's because every Ammon Amarth song starts with all right, fair enough, fair play.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
That's like I was in a doctor's office and I said, "Oh, the animals," because House of the Rising Sun came on, and the tech looked at me like, "How do you know that?" I was like, "I like good music. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Any other questions? Put on REO Speedwagon now. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Yes, the drunk band is SSL, and not a good look. I've seen
that
much
really
worse.
bad guitar player that everybody just throws stuff at. He used to be. They made a whole documentary about the guy. He used to be a good guitar player, and then like he sucked, and then people just started throwing things at him. So that started to become the shtick.
Yngwie
Like this is
Malmsteen?
a movie,
No.
Spinal Tap.
No, not even Malmsteen.
That's mean.
Last time I watched Yngwie Malmsteen was back in 2010, 2012, something like that, in a Swedish rock festival.
Richard Benson, yes. Yngwie is an amazing technical guitarist. He's absolutely spot on technically, but one, he needs to stop singing.
Yeah.
And two, he has no soul. There's no feeling from his music.
Well,
I am from the land of people that don't have a downbeat, so
yeah. At this very concert, he was just playing guitar because apparently somebody told him, "If you sing one more tune, we will shoot you," and probably meant it. And if you have maybe in a 1 hour concert, if he makes like 3 solos, 3 of these technical solos, but every damn song ended in a 15-minute solo. So he maybe went through 3 songs in an hour. And then
that only works for Leonard Skinner, and that's because they wanted every single one of their girlfriends up there with the tambourine. And I'm okay with that, but those are the only bands that are allowed to get away with that.
Yes, Steve Vai is a good guitarist. He is a good guitarist.
Steve Vai's insanely good. Yeah.
Yeah. especially in that movie. I saw that with
Crossroads.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
And
That's
he was
a
18
really
years
good movie.
old. Yeah.
Mm.
And it was Ry Cooder played Ralph Macchio's parts.
Yeah, Ry Cooder. Oh, that is soul. That is pure soul guitar playing. Well, we
I've
have
been in
been
the land of Lego movies, so I'm sorry, guys. I don't know any fun
Oh.
movies.
The Lego movie, the lounge singer, Richard Cheese.
Yeah,
He was singing the lounge. Richard Cheese.
Mo has been a mother for the past 18 years. So yeah.
Well, I've been
I
a
got a
father
new
for
hobby.
23 almost, so that's no excuse.
Yeah, but she repeats that early motherhood.
Oh, well, that's a problem. Yeah.
I got a new hobby, and we've both been Bob Barkered, so we're done.
Yeah.
You know, spayed and neutered for our safety.
Yeah.
Well, we had enough
Been there,
fun.
done that.
So
Yeah. It's like the guy's like, we can do the snip, we can do the tie, we can do the cauterizing. I'm like, yes, please. Just how about D, all the above? Just
No,
do
the
it
most
all.
hilarious thing is my husband went for his consult, and we found out we were pregnant with baby 6. He broke out in hives.
Well, I kind of had the funny experience when I got my vasectomy. You have to go in for the 3-month checkup where they do the count, and
Yeah.
well, that's a whole funny thing too, but we won't get into. We don't need to hear about that part of my life, but that was actually really funny.
I'm going in for the
the Aran.
Yeah.
Yum.
Oh, this
Sherry
is
cask.
good. Yeah.
The Aran sherry cask is amazing.
Yeah, non-chill filtered, and
yeah. So I go to the doctor, and they have my little sample there, and he tests it. And this is the same guy that performed the surgery, which was there's so many stories I can tell you. The consult, the leading up to the consult, the surgery was hilarious. The aftermath was hilarious. Like it was anyway. But so he go in there, he runs a test, and he says, Jeff. I'm like, what? He goes, I'm like, what? He says, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm like, what? It worked, didn't it? I'm thinking this in my head. He's like, your sperm count's 0. You're not going to be able to get pregnant.
Get pregnant?
And or make someone pregnant. I'm like, and he's like, yeah. So I'm like, well, that's what's supposed to be happening, right? He goes, he looks at his chart. Oh, yeah. You had the vasectomy. Yeah, you're good. I'm like, oh. He thought I was in there for like some sort of fertility treatment or something. Like, how many big fat old white people come into you for vasectomy surgeries, dude? He was just all crestfallen and didn't know how to tell me that my dreams had come true.
That's okay. My husband did not have a very loving and supportive wife when he was like, this hurts. I'm like, I have morning sickness. Shut the hell up.
That was the most researched thing I ever did in my life, was vasectomy surgery.
We did both because around that time, a lot of them were reversing or something. And I was like, God knows it would be us. It would be us.
That's why I said, do the cutting, do the tying, doing the cutter. I want you to burn, blow, and bury the tracks.
If you have holy water and iron, we also need that.
Yeah.
Well, I went with let's get a woman older than me, and she really can't get pregnant. She haven't been able to be pregnant in 20 years, so I think we're safe. So yeah. But if she does, oh crap, because I'm not being a freaking Al Pacino here. Yeah.
That's
that was one of the first girlfriends after the surgery. She called it, I think I might be pregnant. I said, well, one thing, don't you ever call a man and say you think you are or you aren't before you make that damn phone call. And 2, bye, because I have medical proof it ain't mine.
I was trying to not get Mr. Mo confused, but somehow our phones crossed. So I sent a picture to my friend. Like, he gets my photos and his text. It's all weird. We have the most inbred phone lines in the entire world. But he's like, what the F is there a pregnancy test photo on your thing? And I was like, well, I was trying to talk to my friend and, be rational before I talk to you.
Oh no.
And he's like,
Surprise!
then he broke into hives. I mean, not saying my sixth son is the Antichrist, but
yeah, but see, well, someone just here just mentioned 83-year-old Al Pacino just scored him a 29-year-old chick. So
Yeah,
that
purely
and
by
who
look.
else?
And
she's hoping that she's the lucky one that's still around when he's not. She's
So
hoping
many
the
women
marriage
have
lasts
hoped.
longer than him.
Yep. What was that guy? I read about it not long ago, but this was in Europe. A guy who got his girlfriend pregnant at age over 90, and that was
Yeah, so be careful, Nick.
what.
Do they have the legal theory? That's one of our property. That's one of the seminal phrasing. That's one of the seminal cases in property law, the fertile octogenarian case.
Oh, God.
When you're dealing with the rule against perpetuity.
Damn it, Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah,
made it hard for the rest of us.
See, that was the greatest thing. What was the movie? Best in Show. One of the greatest movies ever. When they have like the Anna Nicole Smith, like, we have so much in common. We can talk or not talk.
And he's
we
in
like
the
soup.
Yeah,
and she's like, we like soup.
We like liquid food. Yeah, but his is nurturing. Yours is, I need this in me before I go.
Phrasing.
Yeah, phrasing.
Speaking of contraception, are we going to watch Nancy Grace or not?
Yeah.
Of course not. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that'll burn your retinas right off.
unmute. Here we go.
Dear God, no.
Kohberger,
yes.
now charged in the slate of 4 University of Idaho students. The big question right now is, how did he turn into the monster prosecutors say he is?
Is
I
this
haven't
Looking
said
at
this
a
yet.
string of alleged incidents,
She's Shatnering this right up.
all the way back to allegedly stalking some of the Idaho
Calculon.
4
She's had such a nose job,
via
she's permanently clogged
digital.
up.
via social
Stalking.
in months leading up to their murders, seeking them
The
out
Kubrick
online,
view,
at
though,
least
really-
one, if not more, of
I'm
the
betting
girls
that's a green
on
screen.
King Road.
Yeah.
How did he
I hope
find
so.
them? Did he somehow run into
Can
them
you
when he was
find
there?
Well, how did a college guy find college girls? Jeff, explain.
It's Ouija board,
Yeah.
Yeah,
spirit cooking. I don't.
I mean,
Divining
have-
rods. Oh.
Yeah. I have problems
Looking
breathing through
for
my nose.
college moisture.
Yeah, and I mean, I have issues breathing through my nose because it's been broken too many times.
Yeah.
But hers is by choice.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'll break
well,
it for her if she wants.
mine was by choice.
I'm trying to-
second hand because I was a goalkeeper in handball and hockey and soccer, and yeah. Eventually, they put me in a handball goal because that meant I was at least 6 yards from my opponents, so I wasn't getting red card too often.
I'm just so amazed that her 4 hairs, like they got it teased up to Fox levels. I'm just,
Yeah.
country music levels of teasing.
She's just like, the 80s aren't dead yet.
Yep.
Not on my watch. Heart forever.
Oh,
She's got a few bandanas tied around her torn jeans.
Going to White
She had-
Snake.
Puts her members only jacket on. Yeah. Goes to White
She
Snake
has,
concerts.
she has
Nicholas,
a neck
where is your
pin
members only
tied into a
jacket?
notch back there. Pray to God that knot doesn't lose because
Yeah.
Is this better?
We saw what happens when clothes are subjected to extreme conditions during her dancing routine.
Oh God, I accidentally watched that, and no, handling balls. Yeah, sure.
Mm.
Mostly my own, but
Well, they do say to check for testicular cancer every month, so Merry Christmas.
yeah, and
Got it every morning, no problems. We'll find it very early.
Check and check.
Yeah.
do
Why take
Americans
the risk?
know what handball is? I don't know. Do you know what handball is?
Yes.
I don't know what sports
don't-
balls are anyway.
Mm.
So they
And I
take
don't mean hand egg as in American football. I mean
Yeah.
actual handball.
hand egg. Yeah.
Because there's only like 5 times in an American football game there's actually foot on ball,
Yeah.
or more if by accident, but no, it's hand egg. We had the we played in the second division, and I was a goalkeeper in handball, and one of the opponents, he was like not a tranny guy, but 6'7", 6'8", and he had as a goal to always throw his ball in my face.
Well, it's 6'8". He didn't even have to, jump
didn't
up or
have-
anything.
No, but I'm not scared to. God, how do I phrase this?
You're not scared to get the
You
balls
didn't
in
mind
your
getting
face.
drilled in the face every now and then.
A real man takes it right to the
I'm
face.
not scared of projectiles. No,
Yeah.
no, I can't phrase this.
Don't try. Let's
No.
just go with this Shatner woman here.
Thank God I'm not going to be here by the end of this thing.
Finding an apartment or touring campus there at WSU, Washington State University. Is that when their paths collided? Did they know they were being watched? Did they
Or
ever
did it never
read
happen, you
his
cowbag?
emails he sent introducing himself or
How-
trying to hook up with them? Or
How
did
would
it go
other
into a
people read
spam
his
folder?
emails?
Then we have the
I know
incident
college girls. They have
where
no
he
situational
allegedly
awareness.
went into a female colleague's home there at Washington State University.
He was like
And
on
move
the
things
spectrum.
around
He
in
never
her
talked
apartment.
to anyone. Try again.
No, manipulating her into coming to him and saying, "Oh, my stars, guess what happened? Some freak's been in my apartment." And then he swoops in
Is that
like
a
the
direct
savior
quote?
and sets up her Wi-Fi, finding out the password and security system so he can spy on her remote.
There are adult
even from
shows
his
that
Where-
felt like
whenever he
this.
felt.
Where is a single freaking shred of evidence that any of this ever happened?
Oh, that's a pause face right there. That is a thumbnail face.
That's
right
the best
there.
one we've had yet, though. So
Yeah.
That is going
But-
in the Christmas card.
just watching Nancy Grace go for 5 minutes is really traumatizing.
But here's my thing. Okay. Well,
She
if
only
he
has
knew
those
about the
faces.
Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
then
My
how
stars.
did he even get it in there? Just terrible. What is wrong with this woman? It's because she has 5 hairs left and she's just mad. The rest of that is extensions.
Horrible banshee.
You know her makeup artist hates her. That's why they made it that way. Like, no,
Everybody
Nancy,
hates
you
her.
look beautiful. You look beautiful,
Yeah.
sweetheart. Frosted purple? Yes, ma'am.
She's looking into my soul. Push play.
Yeah.
It's freaking me
She's
out.
seeing my Kindle list.
I mean, what kind of a kick do you get from watching somebody else watching TV or doing the dishes or doing her hair?
My kids watch
Or
people
Have you
The Lord
unboxing
only knows what
YouTube
else
toys.
he
lady?
watched. Did he install more cameras than what she knows about? Then we have another alleged incident where a neighbor of the
alleged.
King Road victims, the 4 victims, Maddie, Xana, Kelly, and
If
Ethan,
you cannot remember their
that
names and
has
have to look at the
items
teleprompter,
taken
I
out of
don't
a
like
suitcase,
you.
which was in her car, and the underwear shoved into the door, the car door, around
What?
the time of the
Nancy, you've
murders.
just never been in a back seat. Don't be jealous.
What in the
I
hell
mean-
is he talking about?
Items taken out of a suitcase, which was in her car, and the underwear shoved into the door, the car
Still
door.
don't know what that means, but whatever.
So I guess she was moving suitcases allegedly, and one of her pair of underwear got caught in the back seat of his car. Is Nancy just upset she never got to, go in the back seat
Pretty
of a car?
much, I guess.
She's just like, how would that happen? And everyone else is like, I got some high school stories.
Yeah,
I've got some theories.
Yeah.
Scully.
that mid-seat console is the bane of everybody's existence. It's like who put that there?
I had an 84 New Yorker. I was
Gotta-
set. Blue
yeah,
velvet.
Oh, nice.
And she really has it doesn't matter when I stop the video. She always has a weird face
She
for
has
it.
a face for radio and a voice for hell.
She's a horrifically unhappy person.
She has a voice for mime. That's yeah. Oh.
Wait, she's going to get on
around
the
the
View.
time of the murders, leading up to the murders. What else is there? Is there more?
Is there anything? I mean,
Yes, Flux, that is a great song.
It is.
here's the thing, chat. If you want me to move on to something else, you need to pay for it. Otherwise, we are going forward with this. Seriously.
We are all suffering together.
We are
Welcome
all
to our
suffering
dungeon.
together. And maybe I will switch to something else.
We're not
next.
making you watch
Come
her
on.
Dancing with the Stars.
My
No,
stars.
I won't subject my my members. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe for good content. That is not this one. I do have good content. This is a Friday after work drinking stream. That's it. Not watching trials, just watching this product
Human
of bad surgery, mouthing out crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joining me right now is a renowned psychoanalyst joining us out of Beverly Hills. It's Dr. Bethany Marshall, and you can find her at drbethanymarshall.com.
Oh, yeah, she's a
Dr.
psychoanalyst for sure.
Thank you for being with us. First of all,
I'm happy to be here.
I don't know
God.
that this evidence will ever make its way to the jury.
Because
These alleged
what evidence, you
it's
similar
not
cow?
real?
transactions.
You're not jacking my
Because-
dogs. Weirdo.
I know you're a psychoanalyst, Dr. Bethany, but we have discussed similar transactions many times in the past, you and I. Fingerprint crimes or crimes that tend to prove
Fingerprint crimes?
What are fingerprint crimes?
I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what
She was in theory a prosecutor, correct? Because I feel
Yes.
more
allegedly.
I feel more Lionel Hutzy lawyery like than this woman.
I can't believe it's a law firm. We win your case or your next pizza's free.
I mean, should we look at Daryl Brooks' closing argument instead? I don't know.
Hey, it's fine with me. Or we can look at all the dumb TikTokers who are pretending to rob people and are going to get shot. 'Cause-
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a guy
that
named
guy who was-
Tyrone.
That guy who went up and pretend. I mean, he must do that in a state with very restrictive gun laws because he's damn no going to do that in Texas.
There's a guy on TikTok named Tyrone. He's a big buff black guy that goes around slapping cigarettes out of people's hands and mouths.
Oh shit!
He's like, he just walks up and bam, Tyrone says smoking's bad for you. He did that to the wrong person, got shot.
Oh, yeah.
Can't imagine why.
F around and find out. You can do it 1,000 times, then you will find out.
Yep.
My Wi-Fi is acting up on me. Damn, yeah.
Can't
Well, it's
remember
because
where
Nancy
I heard it.
You
Burned
keep,
into our
you know what I
soul.
mean? I mean, there's nothing new in her except surgery, maybe. I don't know.
I can see a lot of new things in her.
I mean, I know
factory rebuild.
how old is this broad? I've seen her older in 30-year-old.
I don't know how can you tell how old vampires are? I don't know. The
I
rings.
think she was there when like the Constitution was signed. She's
Did
been
she help
feeding off
that-
young ones.
Mhm.
She's a Skeksis. She's been feeding off gelflings for years. I swear to God, no. Pull up the New York mayor or the New York governor. She is for real a Skeksis. Like pretty much. I love the. I didn't realize I was going to become the hobo woman with the planets, going around her when I grew
Agra.
up.
Agra's awesome. Agra's my favorite.
She is, but gravity is a thing, and
Especially
she's magical.
did you see the Dark Crystal series on Netflix? The prequel.
I did.
That was
My
great.
kids were like, "Mom, this is scary." I was like, "Honey, you don't understand. In the 80s,
Yeah.
we had David Bowie with a codpiece in a children's movie,
Yeah.
perving on a 16-year-old, and the Dark Crystal and the Black Cauldron. They were trying to kill
Yeah.
us."
So I never watched the Black Cauldron because I really liked the books, the Lloyd Alexander books, and I didn't want them to Disneyfy it.
I never read the books, but
Oh, the
I was
books are
just
great.
like, I'll have to.
But-
She's,
That's
that is one of my 63.
that is a hard 63 for
Yeah.
that is a. She did a
Should
lot
we-
of partying.
we should ask David to rate her.
Oh God, no, not again.
Oh, Jeff. Oh, you
What?
missed something yesterday.
Apparently not.
David on MLS law did this rating stuff. Mo, explain.
Okay, his new theory of rating takes away the the base 10 system.
Mm-hmm.
So his
Screw the metric
one-
system any way you can.
we're Americans. We don't trust it. We like our base 12 and possibly like a camel, and we just don't care.
So we won.
We are the country that buys explosives from carnies on the side of the road to celebrate our independence. We're weird people.
Mm.
But so 1 to 9 are your, weird people with like, lazy eyes, moles, basically your sewer mutants. He
mole?
called them the Uggos.
Yeah, go.
Then your 10 to 20 are your average people. And the 21 to 30 are your smoke shows. So you can move up or down in your bracket. You can't now in his system, you can't move brackets, but like a 1 can become a 9 because they have a good personality. And so on and so forth. So like Amber Heard.
My mom. My mom set me up for one date. That was the deal. Is she pretty? She has a nice personality. Is she pretty? She has a sweet spirit about her. All right. Then
Her
of course,
eyes point in different directions.
well, and speaking of Labyrinth, she looked a lot like Ludo. Sort of had to hunker down and go sideways through the door.
But yes, the Bears need linebackers every year.
Yeah.
The only blind date I ever went to that friend set up, about a half an hour in, she said, "Oh no, I forgot my meds at home."
That was a signal. Let's go back to my place, Nick. You're slow on the uptake. Come on. She's inviting you back to her place.
Of course, what med? Thinking, oh, maybe she's on antibiotics or something like that. No, schizophrenia.
I was
Also
just going to say, she said,
lithium.
all of us need to take our meds.
Yeah,
You dodged a Letitia bullet.
yeah, and that was. Thank you for the information. Let's just speed through this date, and I will kill my friends. I will never talk to my friends again. But and the rough part is, but we think you fit so well together. Excuse me? Am I
Why
that
do you
weird?
have
New friends. Yeah.
New
Yes,
friends.
new friends. Oh,
My mom called. She died. I have to leave now.
Yeah.
mm,
That actually happened to me, though. I was dating this beautiful girl. It was like our third date. We're driving down the road to the beach. And then my brother calls and says my mom died right in the middle
Oh,
of a
I'm
date.
sorry.
I'm like, I think I have to go home now. And she
Wow.
was she was like crying. I'm just like in shock.
Aw.
I'm stunned. And she's crying. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm probably never going to see this one again. This is an
That
awkward
happened.
date you don't recover from.
Yeah, that kind of happened to me with my first husband. We were sort of almost divorced. I was out on a date and they're like, "You need to come home." And I was like, "Oh, are one of the kids is something wrong?" And they're like, "No, you just need to come." And I was like, "I'm kind of doing something right now." They're like, "Yeah, well, he's passed away. You kind of have to leave." And I was like, "Well,"
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
so like, I don't know if I'm divorced or a widow, but I have to go.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Look,
that was me.
Mo,
Never saw her again.
Mo in times of stress just tends to verbally vomit, you know, facts on people.
Brad has all the information. Okay.
Well, now that I've killed an hour of your time, it's 6 a.m. here. I guess I should go to sleep for 3 hours so I can go join Flux in 3 hours.
Yes, you should. You do
Yeah.
not want to keep looks.
Mm.
Well, you're not drinking fast enough. You're boring, Nicholas. Come on.
I am working on it. I have like 3
All right.
boxes
They're
of
not
wine.
paying me.
Yes.
Yeah, this is just social drinking. Pay me, and I'm starting to get shit-faced.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. How hard can it be? I mean,
I just have to go pretend to sleep.
yeah, I just had
Phrasing.
a 12-hour workday, maybe half a lunch. This can get interesting.
I did 8
Yeah.
loads of laundry, made Asian pork ribs for my family,
Mm.
and then told them to leave me the hell alone unless someone's bleeding, which could possibly happen in
Yeah.
my house.
Well,
Oh.
Nicholas Mo, it's time for me to check out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a
Go to
good
sleep.
whatever it is, wherever you are. It's broad freaking
is-
daylight here now, so.
Thank you for joining
Thank you
us
for
first
nice
hour.
to meet you.
And
We'll see y'all soon.
see ya. Have fun. Have everything. And
Bye.
bye. Okay.
All right. So do we
I'm-
want to watch? What do we want to watch?
Yeah. Let's just keep going with Nancy until they pay us to do something else.
It's a reverse hostage situation. I like this idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pay us to make Nancy go away.
Pay
Is
us.
Like an indulgence.
motive, scheme, frame of mind, course of conduct, and this would
Oh my God,
definitely
my church
fall
lady does
into
sound like her.
motive. Typically, in our jurisprudence system, which we brought over from Great Britain,
Oh, well, she said
past
jurisprudent.
acts, bad
she's
acts
a real lawyer.
cannot come in. Say, let's just say Jackie is accused of shooting Sydney down one day. here in the
$2
studio.
for a shot.
Well, the
Seriously,
prosecutor
David.
cannot bring the whole list of Jackie's shopliftings. Sorry, Jackie,
I'll take the
because
full
they
shot.
have no bearing on the murder.
Wait a
That's
minute.
why bad acts are typically not brought into evidence. You don't want
Shoplifting
a
is
jury
fun, though.
rendering a verdict based on a popularity contest. Oh, she's a bad person. She's a shoplifter. Let's convict her on murder. No.
Nancy, I would convict you
That's
of
why
murder.
many bad acts don't ever come within the juror's purview. They never know about them. That said,
Jurors.
if
What is
a prior
that?
bad act, be it a conviction or no, it doesn't have to be a conviction.
What?
If a prior act shows modus operandi, method of operation,
There has to be an investigation, proof,
Holy,
and evidence, stuff like that, due process, conviction for prior acts. Not I've heard. No, that is hearsay.
and you'd think she'd
this-
know that, but oh my God, she's terrible. And she is Shatnering this way up. There has to be jurisprudence. We brought our laws from England.
Yeah.
It's a country across the pond. Oh gosh.
Yeah, isn't it weird that military is sending rockets, but everything in drugs is sold in grams? That's a universal measurement system. And it's like when we went like 10, 12 years ago, went into high definition videos, what was the standard? Prawn was the standard. Do we really want to watch this in high definition? And that's why in the 90s or 80s even, they chose, instead of Betamax, they choose VCR because it was more prawn on VCR.
Well, I was about to say, I thought it was prawn that made that Personally, I would have gone with the big laser discs because then people going to the back store would have to carry a big old bag out. Like, what is that? Well, it's Debbie Does the Entire Midwest here for everyone to see.
Farrell is here. Hi, Farrell.
Farrell.
Oh, Soul Souffle is here. Oh, there's a lot of interesting people around here. Winter Steel is here. Keep
trying to read and go.
I have no idea why I pressed this. Oh yeah, Soul Souffle is here. Yeah. I don't know the discussion in the chat room, but yay! Treaty of the Union 1706. Here's to 1706. Ooh. Let's continue listening to
David. People wish that it used inches, not centimeters.
Scheme, frame of mind. Then it can come in.
90 centimeters sounds a lot bigger than whatever it is in inches.
I don't want to talk to you about the law, whether these will ever come in before a jury. I want to talk to you about the why. And remember, the prosecution doesn't have to prove why. Doesn't matter why. So let me ask you, Dr. Bethany, why? Let's just start at the beginning. Let's start with the case in chief.
Well, I think the question of why is
the
so
name of Jesus is
God,
that.
what the fuck is that?
Where is my holy water? Someone get me a steak. A real one, garlic, anything.
I need a stuffy animal to protect me from what.
All right, no, I have to get some real booze. This is.
Yeah. I'm going full 50% here. Yeah.
On sale, Jose Cuervo for the what?
Oh, I'm not doing a full whiskey.
Shit.
You're doing, you're not joking around here. Okay.
It's a very small amount. Mo is not.
Chat, 1 for smash, 1 for get the freak out of my face. 1 for smash to get out of my immediate.
What in the hell is up with these women's eyebrows?
Seriously, why do you choose to look like that? I mean, But going back to the metric system and interest system, I don't really care because why do women have so much issues parking a car? Well, you've been told for decades that this is 6 inches. That's it. I mean,
that is a demon that walks among us, allegedly.
how do you choose that? I mean, makeup is supposed to be put on with a brush, not a spackle. I mean,
I'm just confused with these women's eyebrows. I mean, God gave you a set, and then you decided, "F you, no, God, you don't know what you're talking about. Let's do something different."
oh God, yeah.
And everything's so heavy. I'm just done. This is she pestilence, death, or war in the four horsemen of the four crones of the apocalypse? Nancy is wrath, so
Oh,
it gets weirder the longer you look at it. It's like one of those. Do you remember in the early 90s they had those 3D posters you could get, and you kind of had to focus and unfocus on it, and then you'd see whatever it was.
mm,
Her face is like that. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be able to see like a giraffe or something at the end.
mm.
Do you
Yeah,
what? We don't know what the F is going on either.
I found her.
Legs up. Come in. Come on in over here. That's it. Jolly good. Come on. Come on.
Swear to God, every time I had a baby, I was in a learning hospital.
I'm sorry. Only people involved are allowed in here.
By your 6th, you're just like, okay, whatever, fine, come here.
Yes.
The mystery is. I swear, but
Yeah,
and I always
and that
thought
was the result.
always the training nurse, and after a woman's had 4 children and she tells you, hey, things are ready to go, she's like, are you sure? I'm like, ma'am, go get the damned doctor. And she's like, but you're only this, go. And then the senior nurse would come in and she's like, don't breathe, don't cough, nothing, wait. I'm like, okay, I have nothing to do today.
I do have a recollection that Monty Python does not do copyright strikes, so maybe we can do a bit
Well,
of
that's
this.
good.
And that's
Oh, God, we're back
the
to-
result. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's some necromancy going on. I don't know who she made a deal with, but it wasn't Jesus.
No.
Allegedly.
And thank you, Soul Souffle, for your $5. I think we can blame the Kardashians for the spatula, makeup, and eyebrows.
We can blame the Kardashians for a lot.
Yeah.
OJ. The
Oh, yeah.
Kardashians.
Yeah, generally, yeah. But maybe she has something intelligent to say.
She might buck the trend. Let's see. She is appearing on Nancy Grace.
From a psychological perspective, for your listeners and for us in society to understand what motivates the Brian Kohbergers of this world. So when a patient comes into my office, I try to identify what's called an organizing principle for their personality. Once I know what the organizing principle is, then all of the other behaviors begin to make sense. I would say that Brian Kohberger's organizing principle is that he is a sex predator, right? That's fairly obvious at this point. And
it looks like you got a copyright strike.
Pattern to the predation.
So
it's beginning to play out in all these.
I don't know if we have to start it again.
Which I think will be fascinating to unpack. But we see spying on an unsuspecting.
How do they know? Because I haven't.
Well, because it's not showing. So I have it going on my phone, so it's not showing. Oh, now we're back. I don't know. I guess we're back.
Okay,
maybe.
so apparently Monty Python went from, because I know this from a few years ago when they started their own YouTube channel, that they wouldn't do that. But apparently they do.
Yeah.
So I will before
maybe it'll. Mine is a little bit delayed, so maybe it'll come back on. I don't know.
well, they said in the chat that I'm back on. I'll just check my mail here. Yep.
Those dirty rap.
Yeah. So now we know. Okay, Mo is back.
Oh, cool. Yay.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I think it was
think I'll-
because we made fun of the Kardashians.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
Because
the
they are
Kardashian.
okay. And I am not trying to be mean in the holy month of June, but Ken Fox put up a warning bell or siren before they put Caitlyn Jenner up, because
Oh.
that is jarring. And I
Yeah.
need a warning.
Generally, that's jarring, but yeah. Well, crap happens. Now we know we can't show how Mrs. Grace, and her co-host. Yeah, now we know, and yep. Well,
I feel bad for him, but he's a militant vegan, so I then don't feel bad for him.
is Kohberger a vegan?
From I didn't really get into this case because Nancy got real into this case, but I believe he was kind of chunky when he was in high school, then discovered cocaine and veganism. What one has to do with the other, I'm not quite sure, but he became kind of a militant vegan to the point where I guess he was going to live with relatives and he wanted them to buy an entire new set of pans that had never touched meat product. So I'm sure he's enjoying prison.
Yeah, let's see. Wired.
John Gary, I don't know if cocaine is vegan, but I think it's plant-based, so I think we're good. There you go. My new vegan diet. The house will be super clean.
Dun, dun, dun. I see a clip, an article from 2008 that says, since they are putting out the content on YouTube, they will get money from it, and but they won't strike anyone who does it. So it's probably someone with that channel from the clip I showed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. I got one of my Joel Guy Jr.'s semi-copyright striked, and I had everything covered, so I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on, but I was like, they're like, it's blocked in certain countries. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah. I got copyright for a music bit I did, but that music bit was from Microsoft, one of their free stuff. But apparently, Microsoft in there, you can use this music, adds in stuff that will be copyright struck. So I'm not doing that anymore. And thanks to my members, I have something called artlist.io that yeah. So via Artlist, I can get music and sounds and stuff like that. And that is thanks to my members. So another grift. Normally, I don't ask for super chats, but if you want to support this channel, it's by memberships, by either buying one for yourself or gifting it to others, because then I can plan ahead what can I buy in to improve sound or video or stuff like that. As for now, I have StreamYard Plus, so I can have 10 people here at the same time. I have this sound and music stuff, and thanks to a couple of weeks ago, one person gave me a lot of super chats, and that brought me my new office chair, which I got the ping today that I can come pick it up. So
Oh, awesome.
so tomorrow, Sunday, I will be sitting in an actual office chair instead of a lawn chair. Because a few hours in this lawn chair, and yeah,
It's not a fun thing.
not a fun experience. Should I invite Flux here? I think she would be great here.
That's fine if she is available. Those are some Manson lamps, though. He has dead doll eyes, like Sully would say, from Jaws.
Yeah.
What? Britney Spears is dead? Are you kidding me, Flux? Are you?
What?
I don't know. Flex said that Britney Spears is dead, but I didn't get a Fox News alert about it or a People alert about it. But I wouldn't be shocked.
No, it says, why is Britney Spears dead trending?
Oh,
It's
well,
a
I
wild
don't know.
theory, stuff like that, from mid-May. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Mm.
Possibly
Oh, yeah.
because well,
Conspiracy. Well,
you
Flux knows that horses are fruit. Did you know that? No, that horses are fruit.
I remember David and us trying to have a serious conversation. You kept throwing up kiwi horses, and I just couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, and for you who doesn't know, you see, horses are fruit.
You know, I need that as a T-shirt.
Well, bees are fish, but that's actually true because in California, due to some regulation issue, bees are considered fish from a regulatory point of stance.
That's like in the medieval time when they used to classify beavers as fish and all the other different animals that were four-legged as fish so they could eat them during Lent still. So like
Oh,
so like deer were somehow aquatic for the time that, people were like, we are always fasting for Jesus. Can we just eat a damn deer? Yes, it's a fish. Have a fun with that.
I mean, look at this scene from a famous movie.
It's better than the new Wizards of the Coast. Have you seen the new I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, or no, it's Magic the Gathering. They have reimagined Aragorn. Now you're
Oh, I heard that from Magic. Yeah, that's interesting.
what is
They-
canon? Who cares?
Oh, did we get? Oh, Wendy H. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you. And
Awesome.
to Indigo Luna, Pharaoh Housewife, opposite of amnesia. I don't remember what that is. Sorry. Donna T, Apostate Amanda, Digger 420, Is Jamie here? Or no? C.
I'm trying to
Sauder,
keep up with it.
Cindy Lahoot, TJ Kitty. Thank you so much and welcome. There are members only videos and stuff like that. And yeah, and perks and stuff. I haven't fully grasped what that actually means, but thank you. You helped me improve my channel. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Oh,
The
well,
U.S.
I
tomato
think
inspector.
yeah, I think Reagan made it a vegetable for some reason in the 80s to make school lunches more healthy.
Because burgers have tomatoes, or
Well, because ketchup is made of tomatoes. So
oh,
if it's a vegetable, that's, one more of the vegetables you need.
yeah.
I am not up to date on Travis Rudolph, John Gary. Tyler broke me. I watched it once with MLS Law, and then I watched it once with Vices, and then I gave up the will to live.
Yeah. Some of these cases are just, how did they get to that point in life?
Yeah, it boggles the mind. She is not pretty enough to deal with the crazy that she spreads.
Mm.
Now that's me as a woman, and I'm not typically attracted to women, so maybe I'm not seeing her lamp upon a hill, as it were.
Well, let's listen to this for a couple of minutes, because I am 3 beers and a few shots of whiskeys in, so I need
Awesome. You all are
to.
stuck with me. It is the Mo channel now. Mo's show
Acting
forever.
victim. That tells me that he has something called scoptophilia.
What? Let me write that down. And what are you saying?
Scoptophilia, SCOPTOPHILIA. It's a fancy word for a peeping Tom. It's the least of everything that's going on.
Okay, hold on, Dr. Bethany.
Oh my gosh, so her
being
eyebrows.
just a JD, not a psychoanalyst like you.
You're not even a JD,
helping all
ma'am.
those poor, pitiful people on Rodeo Drive with all their problems.
Did she just get
I know
holier
this,
than
and again, it's
thou
anecdotal
with her
It is
own
not
guest?
a statistical deduction, but so many times in rape, sodomy, not as much in child molestations, but in rape, sodomy, murders, burglaries, I'd look through the defendant's file, and this is based on a fingerprint. I'd see all the different aliases and names.
Oh, for
And there would
all right,
almost
church
always
lady
be
is
a
coming out.
or a loitering or a criminal
Or not
trespass.
church
The
lady,
moment
just
I saw it, I would know that's peeping Tom, and they charged with trespass. He's like standing outside some lady's window looking in. But there would almost always,
generally serial killers start out
be
as a peeping
there
Tom.
somewhere hidden in all the record.
It's not hidden. We just
That's
have
right,
a
Nancy.
spectacular
So,
justice
a
system
couple
that
of
doesn't
things
pay
about
attention
that,
to
and this
trends.
is going to sound so freaky and unlikely, but I do believe it to be true. So think about the earliest form of
It sounds
relating we
like
have is
criminal sexual deviant behavior pre-K. You start with a peeping Tom.
okay, pre-K. Okay, so the earliest form of
you are
relating we
not a
have as human
profiler.
beings is looking back and forth into our mother's eyes, staring, loving, gazing.
Oh my God,
it's a very
that
early form
face.
of relating. And often these perpetrators are caught at that earliest level of relating where they just want to stare, they want to look. But they want to look in such a way that the other person doesn't look back. They want to have all the power in the gazing aspect of attachment. Also,
This is
these
not
guys
news.
are
I knew this, and I
obsessed with
watch
sex.
like
They
all the
have
serial
very
killer
prolific
stuff to fall
fantasy
asleep.
lives. They're probably
I have become
masturbating
a
as they're looking at
profiler.
the other person. So all the
Okay, fill me in. What happened?
Well, the psychoanalyst woman decided to explain the very basic thing everyone knows about serial killers, which is if you have a sexual sadist, they generally start out as a peeping Tom.
Yeah, but you kind of want to go further back, like childhood and.
Well, I think they're talking about their criminal record. So it will start with trespassing, peeping Tom, the kind of voyeurism stuff. But I know this because I watch serial killer documentaries. It's not like she has stumbled upon the great arc of the dark trifecta and, has learned these magical clues. It the way she presents it, like, peeping Tom, you say? Escalations and weirdness, you say?
Yeah, this is yeah.
It is up to Nick to decide how much we need to pay to shut Nancy Drew's mouth.
Let's see. We are at $17. I think we'll at least need to get to 25 before we find something else. So 8 more or something like that. But what are we going to watch instead? That's the.
I don't know.
I am so prepared for this. I am very prepared. 3 minutes before this stream started, I found this because I'm very prepared because I have had a 12-hour workday. That's my Friday, and what was it on Monday or Tuesday? Somehow, the day before, I just sat in the couch about 9 o'clock at night and fell asleep. Woke up 2:30, wide awake, and then 24 hours later, I was on Dave's chat or stream, and yeah, that's what we did. Yeah,
I just went to Walmart and bought all the things that my kids forgot to tell me that we were out of. Again. I'm going to live in Walmart. I just am.
yeah. Let's see here what I can prepare. Oh.
Yes, Wendy, I believe via super chats, if we get 8 more dollars. Oh, and she's gone.
Jesus.
Well,
Jane really don't want to.
Fine, chat. What do you want to see? We can, talk about Dr. Dorothy. We can, I don't know.
Let's see what I can find.
We can, let's see, what are other trials that are not the NFL one?
I see here on the Raw and C word, you have a few.
Thank you. I love that everyone is paying to get Nancy off. That is the thing that I love.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Let's. That will. Oh. Thank you, Jane Sanis. Thank you, Audra Smithy, for your generosity. And
Menendez new evidence, soul souffle.
Oh,
the Menendez brothers, or like the Menendez brothers from the 80s?
Oh, 3 weeks ago from Court TV, new evidence in Menendez case.
Oh, cool. Maybe it was like why men shouldn't get perms. Listen, you guys, we all decided, we've looked back at the movies. The 80s were a terrible, terrible time for fashion. That's why we did so much cocaine.
So this is no. Let's show my tractor. For you who are new here, one of the reasons I bought this was, of course, I needed a small tractor, but also how can you avoid buying a tractor with a license plate that starts with FCK?
It is Providence.
Yeah, and it was $600. So yeah, well spent.
It's the front pleated pants. Look, as a child raised on the Lifetime movie network, if Meredith Baxter Burney couldn't make those look good, then no one can. And Judith Light can't make those look good running away from her abusive husband. Front pleated pants are bad.
And I have a new suggestion here, Melanie McGuire. Yeah, let's stop looking at Nancy Grace.
Yeah, she is just terrible. Oh, don't forget your
it's another suitcase trial.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, but let's check out share screen, new evidence in. Yeah, that didn't cover the court TV that much. But
Oh, my goodness. What is up with these
FDART.
women's faces?
Stacy's mom, she's got it going on. Yeah.
She's got the sailor look. I don't know why. But okay.
It's a nice hairpiece at least. But
yeah. Her, she's no Nancy Grace, but
oh, I saw that there.
Yeah.
An hour 36 minutes in after changing subjects a lot of times.
you know what you get when you put the two of us together. It's herding cats and nothing. David comes in like, have you been productive? And we're like, what's productive? We're
What?
like the we're like the
That's-
witnesses in the NFL. From the situational of the hypothetical hyperbole that you were speaking on of the current situation, I cannot make statements for my incrimination.
I'm putting out on Twitter that we were paid to stop watching Nancy Grace, and now we are looking at the Menendez Z brothers new.
Oh, Farrell, I'm glad.
evidence.
Because Tyler broke me. Tyler just the vocal fry having to listen to it twice, it just broke me.
I'm sure he did, but we haven't gotten that far yet. I haven't seen it on either David's or Jeff's channel yet. We are still on Friday, I think.
I gave up after Tyler. I couldn't do it. Watching it twice, I was like, I can't.
No, because I don't know. The state's witnesses so far, at least if you not the forensic people, even though they got their butts handed to them. I mean, the Brazilian butt lift lady. I mean,
Oh, I will say that was the funnest thing I had when Church Lady went ham on her, because oh my gosh, she got something done with her face. She doesn't have facial expressions. I mean, other than smugly, but what are you gonna do?
I don't know, but let's listen to the new evidence in
Yeah.
the Menendez brothers case. This is Court TV 3 weeks ago, so it's quite recent.
Here with Judge Ashley Wilcott. It has been 30 years since Eric and Lyle Menendez faced their first trial for the murders of their parents. And our Court TV cameras brought you every moment of that trial. And now the case is back in the news.
Attorneys for the Menendez brothers say new evidence shows that their convictions and life sentences should be overturned.
Now, during their trial, the brothers never denied killing Kitty and Jose Menendez. Instead, their attorneys argued they acted in self-defense after a lifetime of abuse at the hands of their father.
What is the new evidence? It is a letter sent by Eric Menendez to his cousin, Andy Cano, 8 months before the murder. So that would have been back in December of 1988. In that letter, it detailed his father's abuse. The letter was discovered allegedly or apparently several years ago by a family member and was never presented in court.
Now, in it, Eric says in part, it's still happening, Andy, but it's worse for me now. I never know when it's going to happen, and it's driving me crazy. Every night, I stay up thinking he might come in. I need to put it out of my mind.
Also included in the petition, a signed affidavit by Roy Rosello, a former member of the boy band Menudo. He claims that he too was raped by Jose Menendez, who at the time was an executive with RCA Records. Joining us now, criminal defense attorney representing the Menendez brothers.
Oh, and thank you to Wendy for also sending me a support via PayPal. Thank you so much. So much appreciated. And as I don't know if you know, but PayPal doesn't take a cut like YouTube does. But then again, YouTube allows me to sit here for free for me, even though I get all this, my extremely expensive high-tech lighting and like $4 on Lidl and yeah, and stuff like that.
Well,
so
you
they
know,
still allow me to broadcast, but so they do the server cuts in some way. But thank you so much, Wendy, for sending me via PayPal, where you can send me support without the cut. Thank you so much, Wendy. I just wanted to stop to say that. Let's continue. Let's go back a bit there.
Roy Rosello, a former member of the boy band Menudo. He claims that he too was raped by Jose Menendez, who at the time was an executive with RCA Records. Joining us now, criminal defense attorney representing the Menendez brothers, Mark Garagos. Mark, great to always have you on our show, but in particular to talk about this case, because I have to tell you, I've told Michael, I was captivated by this case, by this trial, by these boys, by their allegations, all of it. And I remember watching it at the time and thinking, I just don't know that I believe what happened to them or what they say happened to them. But yet now you have this letter, pretty great evidence, I would say.
Well, it's and thank you. Always enjoy seeing you as well. The evidence, I think, is not only compelling, it's horrifying. And when you combine it with the declaration by the young man who was then a young man at Menudo, anybody who had any doubts, I think has been disabused. Then combine this, because I don't think people quite understand this, and maybe until I dug into it, I admit to being in the same position. You know, but what happened between the first trial and the second trial is the first trial, all of this evidence was allowed in, not the letter, obviously, that came after the fact a couple of years ago, as you mentioned, but there was a hung jury. Half of the jury found that they would have been not guilty of the murder. That wasn't going to, they weren't going to get acquitted. It was just that they would have had something that eliminated malice and imperfect self-defense, which would have given you a manslaughter. Before the second trial, and what happened in the interim was the acquittal of O.J. Simpson, the judge in this case, same trial judge, reversed himself, and he actually invited the prosecution to reverse themselves, got into the second trial, did not give the imperfect self-defense, excluded much of the evidence of the abuse, and then probably the coup de grace really for them, engineering the guilty, was allowing the prosecutor to get up in closing and argue that it was an abuse excuse, that they had just made it up and that it wasn't true. And that's, fast forward 33 years later from when this event took place, and almost 30 years since the trial, society's in a wholly different place. Jose Menendez, by all accounts, was a monster now. I mean, there's no other way to look at it.
One of the obstacles facing, I believe, this case is, I was working at Court TV back then, Mark. I don't know if you remember, me and my colleague, Beth Karras, covered some of that case. And this was the case, really. It wasn't OJ. People think OJ put Court TV on the map. It was this case. Everyone knew about the Menendez case. So my question to you is it going to be an obstacle for you, the fact that oftentimes to get this type of case open, to bring in this new evidence, it has to have not been discovered back then and should not have been discovered? Is that going to be an obstacle for you, for a court to say, you know what, okay, we see the evidence, but this is something that should have or could have been discovered back then?
Well,
but
remember,
if he made
this letter was apparently went to Andy.
If he reversed his thing in limine, then it should have been discovered then. I'm confused. If they discovered it for the first case that came back a hung jury, and then he reversed himself and said, no, this cannot come in. Isn't that... Listen, I'm a little bit tipsy and I don't have a law degree, but that seems like it would be appealable. Maybe?
Yeah, it should. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to ask a US lawyer more about that, but at the moment...
it's a good thing I have my YouTube law degree, and I say they're innocent now. Although they look deeply creepy. The bald one looks deeply creepy and unsettling. So maybe before they go back to trial, just have him grow some hair.
Yeah. Shaved head isn't a good look on some people, and I'm not sure that was a good look on him.
No,
I mean,
he looks like every, psycho that you see at the end, like Mama said, I just had to get rid of all the ladies. The end of Psycho. It's just terrible.
Soulsifully guilty as hell. Well, they did,
by
all accounts, kill their parents. Here's the thing: what led them up to it? That's the issue.
Yeah, and I think California and the change of the culture, where we're now going more to believe. If the mother allowed it to happen, Brad, I could see there being a lot of resentment there.
Yeah,
but it'll depend on the sort. If they get Beverly Lewis to defend them, then they're definitely guilty. It depends on what witnesses they bring forward. But now that they have collaboration from someone outside the family, that he was, the fact pattern is established that he's a predator, the dad was. Brad, I don't know. I'm trying to be a non-lawyer lawyer. And I could spin that, you feel deeply powerless, and the only thing you can do in this deeply powerless place is unalive the monster because you don't think rationally. At least that's how I would spin it. This is a larger than life monster. I don't know. Yeah. I'd much rather see Kevin Spacey in jail, to be very honest with you, but life isn't always fair.
No, I agree. But let's continue. Maybe it's more.
Has passed away. It was in his effects. Nobody had discovered it until just a couple of years ago, number one. Number two, if you listen to you guys did an excellent setup package. The only thing, if I were producing this, one of the things I would have suggested is to have listened to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals argument, because I've listened to the audio, and at least one of the judges in the Ninth Circuit understood what happened. Basically, to quote the judge, from the Ninth Circuit, they ginned up rules and changed the rules so they could engineer a conviction the second time around. I mean, in fundamental fairness, this case should be looked at again from an equitable standpoint. And now, with this kind of devastating evidence, again, that shows clearly that there was this horrific abuse going on, I think cooler heads after 3 decades will prevail.
And, one of the other things is, and as a former judge, I always hate when there's any issue with the integrity of a judge on the bench, and to hear that basically they said, okay, we're not going to let you consider that. We're going to take that off the table, and really gerrymandering is what I would call it from the bench. But when you hear those kinds of things happening, it affects not just obviously your clients, but really our whole judicial system, because that's not the way it's supposed to work. So what do you envision? What do you hope for as an outcome? Because the reality is
a
these
station
two have
that
been in
makes
jail for a
salacious
very
headlines
long
to
time.
clickbait.
Well, remember, if they had been convicted of a manslaughter, they still would have done a substantial amount of time. I haven't taken a look at what a voluntary was with use.
Yeah, some people shouldn't shave their heads.
Deeply unsettled. Like, he is smiling at me from there's no.
30
just
years
no.
in jail does things to you. That's just it. But yeah.
Well, and I think Chris made a good point that if it was hypothetically, say, 2 women that were going through the same abuse, wouldn't they be lauded as heroes and survivors rather than, Farrell, he shouldn't have shaved his head. I don't know who let him have access to sharp things. He seems like a person that needs to do macrame, if you know what I'm saying, from Archer, no sharp pointy things.
Yeah, but I'm not sure because I don't know how that particular prison works, but I don't think you have to shave your head.
No, I'm just thinking who gave him the implements to do it.
Okay.
And I do think that this brings up a good point. If it were 2 young women, I do think it would definitely have been framed differently.
Oh, definitely.
And I think, like he had just said, I mean, I was a kid when OJ happened, and I didn't quite understand what was all going on. I remember everyone was just glued to it. I think they stopped my class when they had a decision.
Okay.
But if they did this because they utterly failed in the OJ case and then they wanted to win, yeah.
Oh, and thank you so much, Soul Souffle, for your $20. Menendez trying to say that in the moment they feared for their lives because they were in a mindset of children with all-powerful parents threatening them. So reasonable man belief becomes my truth or I felt. Yeah, I can see that.
You can argue it both ways. That's what's so fun about these cases. I mean, except for some of them, but this one, I think there's enough time that's passed that you could definitely kind of look at it both ways. That's what's interesting.
But also, in a way, for instance, I can only speak from a Swedish or European point of view that we have a substantial aid in the school system where you at all times have a school curator or a school psychologist to always go to. Where I don't know the current laws, but you can always go there and say, I need you to keep quiet. I just need to talk. And then that person who you talk to can then say, now, if it's a parent crime, they have an obligation to report it. But to give that person the help to go and report it themselves. I don't know USA 1980. I don't know what went on then.
USA, the child protective agencies have unalived more children from various bureaucratic failures and different things than they've helped. I have a very poor opinion of the child protective services. They give kids back to families that have clear danger signs, and then they put families that have no danger signs through the rigmarole. So I have a very poor impression of them. Of course, I did just get done watching the trials of Gabriel Fernandez on Netflix, and if that doesn't make you want to weld a killdozer, I don't know what does.
Okay, but let's continue here.
Convicted of a manslaughter, they still would have done a substantial amount of time. I haven't taken a look at what a voluntary was with use back then, but I would imagine it would have long since been served. What I would hope is that, as I said, cooler heads prevail, and that we realize that these two men, because they're now been in custody all of this time, would be given the chance to get out and to lead whatever semblance of a life they can lead at this point. Because 33 actual years for what I would submit, if had been tried today. I've had cases in the last 5 years, actually last 8 years, in which the abuse, where the abuse paled in comparison to this, where jurors actually wanted to acquit. And so you have to wonder, has society come an incredible distance in 3 decades, almost 3.5 decades, to understand that these kinds of horrific things really do happen and take place.
And I do agree with you. In the last 30 plus years, there's a huge difference of the awareness and treatment of sexual abuse.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, Mark? When you talk about trying this case in 1998 and you talk about trying it now, one of the things that I think is a big difference is that a lot of people I talk to about this evidence say, well, it wouldn't help the self-defense claim because the abuse wasn't imminent. It wasn't happening. But what we know about this type of thing is the air of fear that this type of situation creates for young people. And I think that would be an area that maybe the prosecution would have to consider. Do you expect, if this is successful, that they might try this case again, or look at it and say things have changed and maybe justice has been served?
Well, I would hope the latter, obviously. I remember trying cases in the 90s where domestic violence cases, murder cases, where it was females who were shooting. I remember one specifically I tried in the LA Superior Court, where it was a hung jury between manslaughter and murder. And that was, people were still trying to get their arms around this idea of domestic abuse back in the 90s, in the mid 90s. And so this it's hard to kind of transport yourself, if you will, back to the 90s, but we've made incredible strides since then, understanding the damage that this kind of abuse does, is what this rape does.
Yeah, I let my cat in and he's attacking. For you who are new here, welcome. My cat is Jingles, and he is this is a real barn cat, because him and his brother was found in an abandoned barn a number of years ago. And my friend first rescued them, and then he had to let them go, so I took them both in. And they have been in my care for a number of years. Then his brother moved across the field to my aunt, where he lives in the garage. And Jingles stayed here, where he keeps my farm free from rodents and mice and everything. And eventually he tries to kill me for that.
We have 2 former barn cats, Bender and Loki were brothers.
I love that name, Bender.
I love Futurama, and yeah, so I couldn't name it Nibbler because he was orange. So and Bender's the one that my son gave a haircut to, because of course he did. But I think what you're gonna run into with the we have changed our views on, abuse and the different psychology, but then you have hose beasts like Sarah Boone claiming that they are battered spouses. So
Yeah.
it goes both way. No, I don't remember like I said, I think I was 8 or 9, so I thought they looked kind of creepy then, but I remember the Lifetime movie. Oh my gosh. The Lifetime movie.
Yeah, but that's like Valhalla thinking he can fix Letitia Stout. I mean,
No, I think that's Broken Baker. I
Oh,
think
Broken
Valhalla's
Baker.
spoken for. I
Yeah.
hope so. Well, wait, I don't know. Maybe there's
Yeah.
a sister wife afoot.
Yeah. But also Jodi Aris, every guy thinks, yeah, I can fix her. Well, she
No.
can take a stab at you trying to fix her, but
Listen,
yeah.
if she doesn't have the common decency to dye her hair red and, at least warn someone, she's not
Yeah.
worth trying to change.
Please, ladies, if you know you are on the cray side of things, dye your hair red. Just say.
Chris Mullins, I think it was both of them. I think she attacked George a lot, and then he fought back because the ex-husband said that she used to go after him with her claws and stuff, but he just would never fight back. He kind of did the NFL thing and just kind of crossed his hands, and she got with someone else. Well, just make sure you don't have any sharp things. Make her crochet.
Valhalla, find me on Twitter so I can send you a link. I don't have a direct communication to you, so you can show up here. Please?
Yeah, so
I sent the link through Flux and David, but I don't have a direct. But find me on Twitter or
no, Iris,
Gmail.
I dye my hair red. I am a natural blonde. I'm not orange carrot blonde like that woman, but I'm a fairly light blonde. I dye my hair red to warn people. Also, my husband said, please God, don't ever go back to your natural color. I guess his first wife was blonde, and he has flashbacks. When we met, I was redhead, and then I went back to my natural color for a while, and he's like, please don't ever do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to find that old photo of me.
That is just an unfortunate entire outfit. The gingham, the lace doily, the hair. It's like the NFL player, the cop, the detective woman. She has her hair down. She looks 12. I get no authority from her. I would not take anything serious that woman said with that hair and the picnic blanket outfit.
Damn, I have to send it to myself through another. Yeah. Oh well. We have.
I love how everyone's like, that hair. Why? Just why?
Oh, that hair.
Yeah. That
that's
was a
what
choice.
that's my mop. I don't know, turn her upside down and clean your floor with
I was
it.
about to
I
say,
don't know.
that's it. Like if little orphan Annie and Gallagher had a baby. It just, I can't make head nor tails of any of it, and I'm severely hoping that cocaine was involved in all of those answers.
Yeah. But let's try to find
I
out.
have no idea what I decided to buy me on Amazon, but that'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Apparently, drunk me got sober me a gift like a month and a half ago, and it was pinging. So today I would have picked it up, but 12-hour work and I couldn't pick it up. So I'm be picking it up tomorrow or Monday. I have no idea what I bought myself.
I woke up this morning to an order from Timu, and we don't know what 3 a.m. me bought me. Last time 3 a.m. me went shopping, I got teal glitter light up roller skates. So let's hope it's not roller skates because I can't wear them anymore. Apparently 3 a.m. me thought I was going to join a roller derby league for reasons.
But I will play this and I will try to find a picture of me when I still had color in my hair.
Oh, she does look like, oh God, Shelley something with the lamb chop puppet.
To people and the threat. And by the way, I'm not arguing, and people have to understand this. When this was presented, when this evidence was actually presented to a jury, very ably by Leslie Abramson in the first trial, half the jurors voted to acquit on the murder charge. So that was back then. Can you imagine if this case was tried now?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it's an excellent point, and I absolutely agree with you. Let's talk about how they are, because the reality is, you see pictures. I've seen some interviews with them, and they look happy as they're incarcerated. I'm not suggesting that's where they're going to be happy, but they
If
look
that's his
like
happy
they
face, we
are.
need to
They're
talk.
smiling.
Sherry,
How in the world
something or
are
other.
they doing handling their truth and still sitting in jails 30 plus years later?
Well, look, the reality is they both live basically their entire adult lives incarcerated. And so
Sherry Lewis,
you either
thank you.
come to grips with that and deal with it, or you don't. And they've decided they're going to deal with it.
Thank you, Winter
I think
Steel.
that also
brain fart.
speaks volumes as to whether or not taxpayers need to have warehoused these young men for the
someone
rest of their
married
life.
them
I
in
don't
jail.
think that anybody would
Ladies,
say that that's the case, and certainly not the victims. I mean, if you
better.
talk
You
to
better.
one of the interesting things here is that
Farrell,
at
don't
least in the
start
first
that.
trial,
We
relatives
got that
of
song into
the
a
victims,
a
Jose and
box
Kitty,
of
got
ash
up
wood
there
surrounded
and
by holy
testified
water.
about some of these horrific things were going on. I mean, remember, one of the things they testified to is that there was a rule in the house that if Jose was in the room with Eric, that you could not go down the hallway. Can you imagine what that, if you presented that today in 2023? And if you've got all of we now have Victims' Bill of Rights in California. If all anybody who, by the definition, the constitutional definition of a victim, says these boys
I
were
understand, but are you
victims
taking
as
in
well
that they
and
look
deserve
deeply
to be out,
creepy, bald or
why would
not?
you give that some credit and some cachet, so to speak?
And the trauma that's caused, that we now know and talk about trauma-informed work and the trauma caused to people who undergo
Indigo
sexual
Luna,
abuse and physical abuse.
I
But
don't
really, when you say some of these
understand it.
details, I think it reminds us
Why
all
marry
who are
a man that
familiar
can't
with the
even
first
take
trial
out the
that
trash?
you can understand in today's world the anger that these two boys would have as a result of the abuse they've suffered.
Yeah, let me ask you about the abuse suffered by Roy Rossello. I'm sorry, Mark, to cut you off. That abuse, how does that line up with the stories being told by Eric and Lyle? Does it seem to be a pattern? Because I think that would certainly be helpful to your case if that is the case.
I think that's exactly why, because you can almost hear what a naysayer would say. A naysayer would say, well, they wrote that as part of the letter was written. Why didn't they produce it? Blah, blah, blah. Well, my retort would be, it was 8 months
There's
before, and the
always,
person who
you
it was
can watch
addressed to
Futurama.
ended
Don't give up
up
hope.
dying. Then the retort is, well, maybe they planned to concoct this. That was basically the argument that the prosecutor made at the second trial after
I could
having
see it going
the
both ways,
chutzpah to
guys.
get
They,
all
this
of
was
this
a
evidence
carefully
excluded. at the
crafted plan to get mommy and daddy's money, or, they were deeply abused. I could see it. I could argue it both ways.
Okay. You all know the grift. If you want us to change the subject, pay up.
And have an idea of what we should watch instead.
Yeah. Send a super chat with a suggestion of what we should do, and we will do it. Meanwhile, I found this is why I feel connected to, in more than one way, to Valhalla Awaits, because somehow I think, yeah,
You are brothers from another mother. I need DNA tests stat.
yeah. This is me in my mid to late 20s, in my death metal, black metal phase of my life. And I see a bit of Valhalla Awaits in it.
Yep. I think
Uh,
I think we have a match. We know the father now. Valhalla says you look like Florida Valhalla.
I mean, there are some similarities, hopefully, as you can see, between this me and old me.
Yes.
But yeah, I know. But I think like Valhalla is like 25 years younger than me. But hey,
I don't
Yeah.
ask anyone their age, and I don't ask anyone if they're pregnant. I just don't.
it's
Two
the
cardinal
Florida
rules of
version
living.
of Valhalla.
I don't know the new rules. It's like I tell my lovely niece who's trying to explain all the new rules to me, and I'm like, sweetheart, 87% of people don't want to be assholes, but we don't have the time to do the calculus of your very special uniqueness. So just tell me what the hell you want to be called and let it go.
Yeah.
And then just expect my 6-year-old to yell loudly, why does that guy have a dress on? I'm sorry, but he's 6 and has no filter. Feral, same. I could see a baby fall out, and I'm like, nope, not gonna ask. No, ma'am.
Oh, but Valhalla, I'm trying to send you a link so you can come on and have fun with us. But if you can't, you can't. But find me on Twitter or on Gmail or whatever, and I will send you a link. I've been asking Flux and David to get you the link, because somehow I don't have a direct connection to Valhalla, and that's a bit sad.
All right, let's see if. Well, wait a minute. Are they? So I guess it comes down to whether they're going to let this evidence in, but it's. He might have,
No.
a coat of lady in the back room and tell people they put lotion on their skin or else they get the hose again. Are you listening to Goodbye Horses? That's all we need to know.
Goodbye Horses? What?
From Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill, when he does the dance and asks if you would consensually love him, and he would consensually love himself. Goodbye Horses is the song that was playing. And Femme Fatale, I know, doesn't it? That that always happens. My kids, it's never the quiet older ones that can just be quiet. Nope. It is the loud one.
Mm. No. I don't care who you're, even if you're my. I have 4 sisters. I would never ask them if they're pregnant,
You
because
just don't.
no, because I have a sense of I like to
Safe.
live.
Yeah, I was about to say you have self-preservation.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, where were we?
I think he was talking about the basic argument. I don't know.
Okay.
That's what the caption says.
Okay, that's
Stu ended up dying. Then the retort is, well, maybe they planned to concoct this. That was basically the argument that the prosecutor made at the second trial, after having the chutzpah to get all of this evidence excluded.
Not chutzpah.
The judge. So then the question becomes, well, how do you corroborate it? That's where the declaration comes in. The declaration comes in. To me, that to quote an old LAPD detective who had exculpated a client of mine in a different case, he used the expression that puts a hat on it. So that to my mind, you don't get any more convincing evidence 33 years after the fact than somebody who in real time was suffering the same kind of abuse. And mind you, I think part of what the trouble we have, or the struggle we have, people can't imagine a father doing this with his son. I mean, that crosses virtually every taboo that we grow up with.
Yeah, you know, it's certainly compelling evidence. That I will absolutely say. We will be watching, seeing how this plays out. Mark Garagos, and hopefully we will be talking to you throughout this process to see where this ends up.
okay. That was the semi-new evidence, but I'm not entirely sure of the U.S. standards about.
Yeah, I don't know if a death note is. I mean, it's still just essentially 2 letters that people wrote. So wouldn't that be hearsay? I don't know. It doesn't have evidence. But like if they had a sane exam, if they had, but just 2 people writing letters, I don't know.
Mm.
Well, Brad, I only know oh God, Ricky Martin from Menudo. I was more of a New Kid on the Blocks kind of person.
Yeah, and I saw about Melanie McGuire, but I only see reports from it. I do have a full episode from some news channels, but I already got struck once today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really have the inclinations of being struck again.
Do we know if have they sentenced the not stalker attic man? Do they have that up yet?
Who?
The case that we watched backwards.
Oh,
I just want to call him Mexican Harry Potter, but that's probably terrible. Or Katie Lang. I really can't tell which is worse.
The one.
Yeah, the OnlyFans stalker guy. I don't know if they've. Flux made me had to go to People to see if Britney Spears was still alive.
No, OnlyFans stalker has not been on. Has not had his sentence yet. I'm trying to see here on Law and Crime if there is. We have Danny Masterson conviction, but that's not interesting. Everybody has
that's a little
reported on that.
heavy.
Yeah.
We need some fun criminals.
Let's see here. Woman accused of decapitating lover before no.
Oh, is that Shabusiness?
I don't know.
I should not know these people by name. I really shouldn't.
Let's see, and I'll bring that up. And there, woman accused of decapitating lover before. Okay.
We're taking a look at a disturbing case out of Wisconsin where a 25-year-old woman is accused of murdering her lover, dismembering his body, and sexually assaulting him after he was killed. But it's that final charge that her defense attorneys are now challenging. Thanks for joining us today on Law and Crime Network. I'm Sierra Gillespie. So the defendant in this case is Taylor Shabusiness, who investigators say
That is the
murdered
best last name ever.
in Green Bay, Wisconsin, back in February of 2022. At the time, Thyrion's mother found his decapitated head at the bottom of her stairway. Investigators say Shabusiness murdered Thyrion after she began choking him during sex. She later told investigators she had been smoking meth and shooting up trazodone. She allegedly put a leg and a foot in her vehicle and even left Thyrion's head in a bucket. New court documents state other body parts
As you do,
bag,
just, on a Saturday
box. She later told
during
investigators, quote,
Lent.
I can't believe I left the head, though. Shabusiness's case has faced many delays since her arrest, though, after questions of her competency and a change of defense attorneys.
Well, I
Most
can't
recently,
imagine why they're
Shabusiness
questioning
was
her
caught on camera
competency.
violently attacking her public defender, Quinn Jolly, before she was restrained by.
Let's see here. Well, I'm Swedish. Europe, north of Europe, Scandinavia, that looks either like a moose head or genitalia. Oh, we're past 2 hours. Yeah. And
go ahead. Sorry.
No. So I'm I've been a union rep for over 30 years. I've been doing labor law for almost as long. I've been 3 years in the European Union as a documents analyst, so I do have some experience in analyzing evidence, negotiations, and stuff like that. But today I'm just having a beer or 5 and having fun with Mo, who is...
I am from rural Indiana, and I've spent the last 16 years of my life raising small human people. The girls are okay. They just have attitudes now. The boys I'm just trying to keep alive. And in self-defense from Baby Shark in Mandarin, German, Greek, and all the other languages, I started watching trials, and I got addicted. And then I thought, I'm mouthy, and my husband doesn't want to hear about Daryl Brooks. So I decided to go on the internet and tell people about Daryl Brooks. Save my husband.
Yeah. And for you who doesn't know, we are dual streaming. So search for Mo in the Deep End.
Yes.
And
because
open that channel up in a separate tab so she can get the numbers. And of course, please subscribe to Mo in the Deep End. And you will, among other things, hear Church Lady.
Church Lady, when listen, the amount of hairspray and bobby pins it takes to get a curl set, you have to believe in your Lord and Savior, because if you're near an open flame, you're going up. It's just what it is.
Yeah. So Mo as Church Lady is, that was interesting.
It was really fun.
Definitely needed a cold shower. And yeah.
Considering the getup I was in, that's a little interesting. I'm calling Nancy Grace's psychoanalyst. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. And this is a Norwegian fire-farting dragon. Let's watch him. Because why not?
So If I'm following the Shabusiness trial, she was choking them during special times and then decided, why stop at choking? Maybe, you you know, as you do on a Saturday, and then decides, I better clean up for his mom in his basement dwelling, and left both heads in a bucket at the bottom of the stairs.
Both
She's
go.
So I may have a little bit of foreknowledge, but apparently she used pieces and parts on herself in special fun alone times. So that's where she gets the SA charges, but her lawyers are claiming that you can't SA a dead body part.
So that's the defense. You can't essay someone who is unlived. Okay.
Allegedly, you can't use pieces and parts of them to gratify yourself, and that's not considered any. It's a new legal theory. I don't know.
Oh God. My husband called when he had his old photo on the screen, and our 3-year-old said, "Daddy, it's you on the TV." Yeah.
She was on all the fun drugs and maybe Quaaludes and pudding pops. We don't know, but that seemed to be the right level of. Well, Mads, then who do you want to watch, sweetie? I don't know. We are willing to take, suggestions. Farrell, the 80s were crazy for all of us. We don't remember a lot of them.
Oh, no. To my knowledge, I don't have kids. To my knowledge. And hopefully not until I kick the bucket, I won't find out. But this is the thing why searching for funny court moments, it's on channels that might just be very litigious.
Yeah.
And I already have a copyright strike today because we were watching Monty Python.
It's just, if you want, we can, pull up the ex-girlfriend and I can make fun of her, but
which ex-girlfriend?
the ankle pics of church lady asking for an Amish friend. Well, as you know, the bounds of holy matrimony mean that I cannot send salacious pictures out without money. So a lot of it.
Judge Manning or Judge Simpson? Okay.
Oh yeah, they're usually the ones that deal with people Zoom call. You are already a felon and you're going to piss off your judge.
They are live. No, it's private. Let's go back a few hours.
Yeah, they deal with like the Zoom calls from hell with the family courts and oh dear Lord, that's a 5-head. Is her name Kantanka Aranica?
Katangika.
Kantangarica.
These are all defendants, right?
Well, I think they're all people involved in certain cases. I desperately need this woman to say her name out loud because none of it is making sense.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Zoom and it's been private for the last 2 hours. So I don't, so I'm beginning at the beginning.
Yeah, Farrell, I watch this when I feel bad about myself. I'm like, you know what? My life's okay now. I'm sort of together. Look, I watch Hoarders when I feel bad about my house. I watch my 600-pound life when I'm working out.
Oh God.
Motivations. No, her name, not orang. It's I didn't say that. Fine, Mexican Vader. Then you explain to me how to say that woman's name with the the forehead. Tank Aranica? No, not Fantange. She's in the second row. She's currently just showing her forehead, her 5 head.
Catanyanica, though.
Well, that's like I'm just I cannot.
Let's speed forward. Oh, Jet Simpson is up there. So let's see when he shows up. If he shows up. Oh, there.
Yeah, because a lot of times people don't realize that their Zoom doesn't cut out and they start adding their personal.
Yeah,
don't pronounce the G.
I was watching an episode of Court TV where someone was in this background and he was rolling a blunt because he didn't think he was seen because and the court yeah, that was so funny.
Okay, not pronouncing the G is really going to make that name. That is just mean to put on a little kid. They're in preschool trying to spell out their name. They've got 18 more letters to go.
Oh. Sound up, everything.
It's like my life is incomplete. I just need to have someone have her say her name.
Oh, play. Cheers, folks.
I'm live.
Thank you,
The 14A District Court is now in session. All those having business before the court draw near. The Honorable Judge J. Cedric Simpson presiding.
And good morning, everyone. Sorry about the late start. Court calls the case. Property on Washtenaw versus, is it Zara Zadea or Zadeh and Ghazal Rahmani, I think, and Safis Bromand. Best I could do.
Yeah, my pronunciation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Odetella, P number 79707.
Thank you, Tweety, because I would not have
property
gotten that.
on Washtenaw.
Have you talked to Mr.
my girls' 4-letter names
that
end with A?
Yes, Your Honor. We're just going to do a quick adjournment on this one. We are very close to resolution on this. We're just waiting for the contractor to come back with some paperwork, and I think we'll resolve it next time we're in here.
Okay. You what date did you need?
I think just.
I don't have the 9th, so you have the 16th or the 23rd. 16th is going to be a loaded docket, but go ahead. I'll let you have your choice.
Well, I think the 16th, I'm back here with you anyway, but.
How are you?
Hey, Jason.
Okay.
Just
We'll do that then. Managed to June 16th, 2023, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay.
You too. Metro Properties versus Justin Scribner.
I can't even imagine this many
Yes.
windows being open.
I think he's looking to unmute. There he goes.
Yeah, Joe Lloyd, appearing on behalf of Metro Properties.
John Gary,
Justin Scribner,
what are you going to
not
do?
here.
Your Honor.
They are not here.
He is not here?
No, he's not here. I had my note indicates he was supposed to pay $900 to the landlord, and they're going to work out a conditional order dismissal, but
That
I
was
don't know
our
if that's
plan.
occurred.
The $900
Yeah,
was
Brad,
never
I'm
paid.
sure we can get more.
He called and left me his phone number finally last night at 5 and doesn't answer the phone.
I've been sending out
I'd like to take a
invites,
default if I can.
So
All right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Tweety,
I do.
no lies. Spotted.
You may
there's-
proceed.
There's now rent due and owing in this matter of $7,150. There's $300 in late payment penalties and $239.70 in costs. We'd like a redemption figure of $7,689.70 and a money judgment in the same amount.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession and money. Redemption amount is in the amount requested, as well as money judgment with a writ to issue 10 days. All
Thank you,
right.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case of Pierce Investment Group versus Christine Edwards.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mike Zappin on behalf of the plaintiff.
Do not have the tenants checked in. However, I do have a conditional order of dismissal.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. And I will sign off on that. This case is conditionally dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Calvin Johnson versus Denitra Walker.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Oh, I would.
Your
just
Honor,
be
my
losing
attorney
my
should be
mind.
on the line too.
I know.
I'm here, Your Honor. Sorry, I was having some computer issues.
All right.
Can we play
There you
the
go.
thing where I am not a cat,
All right.
Your Honor?
Mr. Santa Croce is here. Okay. Mr. Johnson, is he here?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson, I think you said you were gonna get an attorney and then you have an attorney?
The attorney said this case should be just, she should move out because she's not paying rent or the water bill. He said it should be an open and shut case.
But
Okay.
where is your attorney?
Everybody has their opinion. So are they gonna appear for you and tell me that?
Well, you're gonna throw it out today anyway because of the time, right?
Yeah, let's do this instead.
Well, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to.
I don't.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I try to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but
Oh my God, this is me.
I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
This will never not be funny.
The up arrow next to this.
This is like when David tells me stuff.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to.
How are
Take a look.
the other lawyers
can you
not
hear me,
laughing their
Judge?
balls off?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to
That's
go
it.
forward
We're
with
requiring all lawyers to appear
I'm
as
here
cats
live.
from now on.
I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this.
I'm just saying, I think that we would all have more favorable opinions of lawyers if they all appeared as cats.
Yeah. But Judge Simpson explodes on tenant.
Ooh. I love when they get mad at people that aren't me. I need to learn how to do animation.
Judge Simpson just defined the phrase, F around and find out. This needs no intro. Let's watch it.
Yates Hickenbottom. Botham.
Danny Hornby 81774 for plaintiff, Your Honor.
He's here. Oh, there he is. Where'd they go? Okay, there they are. Okay, what do you have as a balance now, counsel?
Rent to retain $2,007.45. Cost $160. Cost $160 for a total of $2,167.45.
All right. And folks, you previously were denied through Hawk. Is that right?
Vanataya,
Yes,
oh,
yes, sir.
Lord, these names.
Okay. So how are we going to get this paid down or paid off?
I've been making payments, Your Honor, to bring the payment down.
Okay, but so here's what I remember. I think you were going to try to move, right? Because you at a house. When were you planning on trying to do that?
To be honest, I was trying to do that as soon as possible. I just only wanted to do it. I didn't want to have an eviction on my record as if I'm abandoning the place. We're trying to pay the cost down. We was going to as soon as possible, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. So what? But I need a date that you're looking to try to do that. I mean, I remember everything. I remember you don't want the eviction. You don't want that. I get it. I'm just, folks have just got to answer my question so that I can try to see what I can work out for folks. But you had indicated the end of some month. I can't recall whether it was June or July. You had said that you were trying to get yourself moved.
The end of July is actually the end of my lease.
Yeah.
So we've been already looking for a place. It's just if we get an eviction on our record and the place I'm trying to move,
okay,
we're not gonna be able to move sooner.
When the judge sighs.
July, if not sooner.
So, folks, do you have a place to go?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, so when you're talking about the eviction on your record, I get why you don't want it, but you keep giving me a rationale for it that's not making a lot of sense to me. Because if you've got a home to go to, that eviction on your record is not going to make a hill of beans about you being housed, right?
It's not going to make hill of beans about me being housed right now, but if I want to be housed somewhere else in 2 years, it will. An eviction stays on your record for 7 years, Your Honor.
Yes,
I've been
always
doing
tell
this for a minute, sir.
the
I get
judge
it.
law.
All right. But okay, how are you proposing? You know what? I'm done. How are you proposing to pay this down?
To be honest, I know for a fact I was going to bring them $1,600 on the 28th of this month. I was actually hoping to pay a little bit more before then to help bring it down, because the last time I paid them $1,600, I only owed them $600. So I'm hoping to pay some money along the way, Your Honor. But the whole thing is, as of right now, I get paid every week. But literally, today is the first. Literally on the 5th, my whole pay schedule switches. That's the whole problem I'm getting into. I go from a every week pay to a every 2 week pay.
I'm confused as to how that's the landlord's problem, but okay.
I just started.
Counsel, are you guys willing to work with these folks? I mean, I don't know what else to do because I can't get my questions answered.
Right. Your Honor, last time it does look like there was a discussion potentially about a conditional dismissal. We'd be willing, and Whitaker Oates can correct me, but if we do until the 13th, which would be the normal statutory period, they've stated they have somewhere to go. If they can vacate by then on a conditional dismissal, then with this being possession only, there would be no eviction for the future, and they would still get the statutory period that they would be entitled to if there was a judgment. My client would get possession back or have the right to get a writ of eviction the next business day. So that's what I would propose, unless Whitaker Oaks has something different, in order to help both parties do and achieve exactly what they want to do. Because frankly, it doesn't sound like payments coming anytime soon.
How does it not sound like payments coming anytime soon when I just gave you guys $1,600? Before I gave you guys $1,600, I gave you guys $250. And before I gave you guys $250, I gave you guys $175. And this was and you guys just took over. This is my first time ever being late on my rent. I can't help that I got sick and I had major surgery. I was in the hospital for over a month. I can't help that. I apologize.
Mr. Yates, Hickenbottom, let me just tell you something.
Ooh.
You're not going to come into this courtroom and try to yell at anybody.
I'm not yelling at
It's
anyone.
not, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to, you want to try to overtalk me? Really?
Oh shit. I mean, wait.
Do you want to do that today? I'll wait for your
At the
answer.
bottom of the line is like,
No,
oh,
Your
hell
Honor.
no.
That wasn't my attempt.
Rule number 1: don't piss off the judge.
No, your attempt was to try to yell at the guy with your non-payment payments you've made up
Here's
in
what
your
I'm gonna
head.
do.
But
Because I'm done. I'm going to adjourn this out to the 16th over the objection of plaintiff, because I know they want their judgment today. June 16th, 2023, 9 a.m. Mr. Yates Hickenbottom, I'm just going to tell you this. Maybe you should look at the way that you approach people. Maybe you should go over to the management and try to work out a conditional dismissal. It's going to be up to them and you to work that conditional dismissal out. I'm done. If they come back, you don't have one worked out, I'm granting them a judgment, if that's what they want.
Your Honor,
I'm done. Thank you. 16, 2 weeks. Or to be in recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge has to go back to a punching bag. Oh, he just threw his phone.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, when the judge is already sighing at the beginning of your statement of facts, that you know, and you're. I can't.
Well, we are closing in on 3 hours, and I'm planning on sending people over to RC Overlord. But
yeah, I'm
for
probably.
Yeah, but for you who have been around my channel for a while, you do know that there are some parts of Sweden that are rural, and you might recognize some things that are maybe Florida man-esque or something like that, with stuff I have shared with you. So I'm going to share one thing with you here.
Oh, this will be good.
Yeah, this will just to make, because rural Sweden is a bit like Appalachian mountain folks.
Oh, my favorite kind of folks.
Yeah. So
well, there's so much in that headline that I just want to live there for a couple years. Oh my god.
in the town of Ida, in a short leopard print skirt, the 49-year-old man masturbated in front of a strange woman at a garbage station. When he was arrested, he had a stall, which means erected, and was carrying a canoe.
As you do.
As you do. I was terrified. It was really very unpleasant, says the affected woman in the police interrogation.
Oh my gosh. That is, I guess when Did he give a reason why he was carrying the canoe? I mean, I can understand leopard print skirts, but the canoe, I have a question about.
David didn't see me take the shot, so I'll cheers. But let's continue to read from this. And
Okay.
I will tell you the twist at the end. It was in August last year that a woman, there is a twist to this.
Oh
That a
God,
woman was
please
going
let
to
it be a
throw
live moose.
that was going to throw away rubbish at the garbage station in Ida, Värmland. As she was going back to the car, she made the far from pleasant discovery. On the ground, a little way from her, lay the 49-year-old man. He was half laying down on one arm, and he's looking straight at me. He's got his, we're past 2 hours. He's got his cock out, and he was standing. The woman says in police interrogation, I saw that he had a skirt, or if it was a piece of cloth, that he had around his hips, and he had folded it up so that his cock was completely visible, the woman says. The woman
This can
alerted the
only
police.
end well.
The woman alerted the police, who caught up with the man on a road a short distance from the garbage station. He then carried a canoe.
He was just trying to get fit and look sexy. It is what it is.
The man is naked under the short skirt, and it's clearly visible that his penis is erect. The skirt has a slit on one side, because that is important, apparently. And this causes a large part of his thighs to be exposed. The police write in a report from the evening in question.
Why are we going into great detail about his skirt? I'm confused.
The
But it's
49-year-old man has denied all accusations during questioning. Both
that
the
was
fact
a
that he was-
kayak, not a canoe, you assholes.
Both the fact that he was naked on the lower body and that he allegedly masturbated in front of the woman at the way station.
Photos or it never happened.
Possibly he may have scratched. When asked if he had an erection, he says no. And adds that he may have had it this morning.
He lost it. That's why he was going out in the canoe. We had to find it again. I don't know why this is so hard.
On Friday, the verdict came against the 49-year-old. The court does not judge his story to be credible. No.
What? Not credible with his sexy skirt and canoe? I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And sentenced him of 1,800 Swedish krona, which is about $200 in fines for sexual harassment.
I feel like I need to pay like $10 for hearing this story because this is great. You guys, you have officially beat America's freedom dong, Florida. I cannot.
This is Sweden. Now, here's the twist.
No, Farrell, I don't know why it's hard.
The twist is Ida, the town, is roughly 45 minutes from where I grew up. And he is roughly my age, which means that I either know him or are related to him.
Oh my God, your family reunion is going to be awesome. Nicholas, pictures. I need pictures of him in his leopard print. Erection negotiable, but I need him holding a canoe in the leopard print skirt for my life goals. I have weird life goals. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, so that's the twist in the end. That because that part of Sweden is very rural. You mean you have the size of Montana and maybe 20,000 people
So the
living
trees
there.
the family tree is more of a stump,
Yeah.
if you will. It's a trunk.
If your family tree does not fork, you might be a Swedish redneck.
Awesome. We need to have him on, and we need to ask him if it was a canoe or a kayak, because I feel like that's the part of the story that's really just not been. We know it. This leopard skin has a slit. We know that it was, fashion forward. We. I, I'm just confused as to what I need. Do your police wear body cam? Because I know it'll be in
No.
Swedish, but damn it, I need to see them arresting him. Like, sir, drop your erection and your canoe. Hands where we can see them, where Jesus won't judge you.
Stop clutching your,
Sir, that you're still unarmed, but put that down.
Put that down.
Also, where did you get your skirt? Because it's fetching. And your canoe.
Leopard print is amazing. Oh, was in the 80s.
It can come back. It can come back.
It can come back.
Well, with that, I still have to semi-function tomorrow, which
Yeah. So am
have
I,
to take.
and Flux hasn't been going on. Hasn't. She's still eating, and Valhalla isn't responding. So I will send you all guys over to Aussie Overlord. But before that,
Yes.
Tuesdays and Saturdays, me and David are rehashing the Jodi Arias trial. And sooner or later, there will be interesting picture evidence. And yeah, as I said on Twitter, you will get snark, you will get laughs, but you will also get legal expertise. So I know there are other channels doing the Jodi Arias trial, but me and David can actually explain what is going on. That's all I'm saying. Oh. And if you don't know, I'm going to send you off. Now, first,
Yes.
go to Mo in the Deep End, subscribe to her, like her stuff, watch everything she's ever done, so she can get up to the numbers where she can get monetized and me less drunk next
You
time.
guys
maybe.
have to keep me off the street and joining an MLM. That's just, I mean, it's either that or I'm selling leggings and I'm CCing you on all of my, MLM problems.
Yeah.
I am not a lawyer. I am a mom, but I basically just mouth off and say funny things. I have Church Lady who is going to be visiting Tyler very soon from the NFL trial. She's already visited Dominique. And, I'm just trying to figure out what my channel is right now. So it's a bunch of stuff, but I try to have fun and try to give you my point of view. And
Yeah.
I've raised 6 small humans and they're still alive-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, at any given time, we don't know. They're feral.
Yeah. And thank you to Soul Souffle, Audra Smithy, Jane Sanis, and MLS Law Show. Soul Souffle, I already said. And
Blind spot, I have to be a mom because I am one.
well, so I will take David's advice and sorry.
I've already had 2 baby shots of tequila. My liver will never be the same.
Cheers to you all. I will be sending you off to Aussie Overlord. Please make sure that you tell him your
6.
Yeah. What?
Oh, Blind Spot was asking how many children, and I said 6.
Yeah.
I
Congratulations.
found a different hobby.
Yeah.
I am not a cat.
Yeah. Go over to Aussie Overlord. Tell him I sent you. Cheers. And I see you tomorrow. Oh, it's Friday today. It's Saturday tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow on the Jodi Arias trial. Okay.
Yes, we will. Bye, guys.